Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama 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 Shri Ram Jaya Rama 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 Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama 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 Om 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram जय जय राम ॐ श्रीराम जय राम 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 जय जय राम 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 ॐ श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम ॐ श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम 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 श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम 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 श्रीराम जय राम जय 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 राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat your holy and all-powerful Ram Nam for enabling me to develop equanimity in all adverse situations. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam for enabling me to develop equanimity in all adverse circumstances. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
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 O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat this holy and all-powerful Ram Nam for making me, for enabling me to overcome all down-pulling tendencies that are lurking in my mind. O Lord of the universe, now you are making me to repeat the Ram Nam for enabling me to overcome all down-pulling tendencies in my mind. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
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 O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam to make me know that even the very Nama comes from you only. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam to make me aware that even this very Nama comes from you only. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
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 O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam so that I will be able to imbibe all the teachings that are there in Quest of God. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and powerful Ram Nam to make me aware of all the revelations that are hidden in Quest of God. You are making us to repeat. You are making us to go through it so that we will become aware of all the values contained therein, all the themes that are contained therein that will help me in my day-to-day life. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam to make me aware that my sense of individuality does not exist by itself. Only because of you it is existing. The holy, O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam to make me aware that my sense of individuality does not exist by itself, but only because of you. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. You will repeat, I will just lead one. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam to make me aware that every trying moment is a test meted out by you to me. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat your own Nama with the purpose of giving me strength to take my mind away from the objects of the senses and keep it ever at your lotus feet. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam to help me, to give me strength to take my mind away from the objects of the senses and keep it ever at your lotus feet. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat Ram Nam to make me aware that during my meditation period, even if the mind goes anywhere, it is not going anywhere. It is only in you in different forms. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam to make me aware that when I sit for concentration of thoughts, when the mind goes in different directions, I need not get disheartened because wherever the mind goes, there you are only. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Like this, whatever we read, whatever he makes us to apply our mind on, immediately try to connect it with the originator. So that means Ramnam is slowly spreading, not merely to a few chosen words. Ramnam is slowly spreading to all our thoughts, all our words, all our deeds. So to begin with, all our words. We need not restrict or tabulate or condition that these are all the things to be chanted. It is he who is making us to chant. So in slowly we will try to stretch this to anything that he makes us to read, anything that he makes us to think, anything that he makes us to talk. That is how the connection can be kept alive. Otherwise, again, we lose. At least during the time when we are exclusively setting apart for his remembrance, suppose we try this method, probably we might be able to stretch it during our other times also. Now we will get back to our text. Yesterday we covered about 2 or 3, daily practices. Anybody remembers? Positive approach.
Gratitude.
One minute. Positive
Speak positively.
Then
Gratitude. Trying the situation as best.
truthfulness.
yeah, truthful and honesty. Today we will take up very important one, because of which we will be able to solve many problems that we come across in our family life, professional life and social life. Giving space to others, non-judgmental approach. Very difficult, but we have no choice. If we are to accept that God is in everybody, if it is to be ensured that it does not stay at the academic level, this is very, very, very important. As you enter this room, there are boards. The second board, as we enter Puja Swamiji's room, the second board, there are only 3 or 4 lines. Can some
Take the photo.
take a photo? You take a photo and come. Because he was an embodiment, he was actualizing it in his life. So every day when we go to offer our pranams to him, we are reading the same thing every day because it is so touching. In a simple word, in a simple sentence, he has brought it out. Not quoting big words. Giving space to others.
Mutual love and respect.
He says, there must be mutual love and regard and also respect to one another. It means a lot of give and take must be there. That means where there is a conflict, humble down. Give up your authority or assertion and try to accept the other party's viewpoint and try to solve the problem. There must be mutual love and regard and also respect to one another. It means a lot of give and take must be there. That means where there is a conflict, humble down. Give up your authority or assertion and try to accept the other party's viewpoint and try to solve the problem. Because even if, out of habit, when we are 100%, our mind will say 100% sure that I am right and he is wrong. And when we express it also. But at least we should try to bring us back in the shortest possible time. What harm is there if I give a listening ear to them? Before listening, I come to her. Because I am sure, I am clear that what I think is right. And I may have justification also. But as a spiritual aspirant, it will not help us. That is what Mahatmas keep on telling us. So this is a daily activity. At home, in our field of profession, in our social get together or whatever you call it, association, or whenever we deal with men and matters, then the question will come whether for no fault of us when we are taken to task, what shall we do? We close our eyes and then we pray. At least as far as we are concerned, we will give space to them. We have shared many experiences we had when we were employed. It is all fresh in our mind. Giving space. When we give space to others, he says humble down. And the assertion, this is something which we keep on asserting. Because we feel we are right. Forgetting that the same God who is seated within me is seated in others also, and he may bring it out, his rights and wrongs. So what am I to do? Though there cannot be a clear-cut instruction, the only instruction Puja Swamiji gives is humble down. giving space. And when we give space to others, when Papa was traveling, when those two boys made some comment, he gave space to them. What was the result? There was a transformation. When they were commenting, he did not jump at them, he did not shout, or even after hearing it, he did not. Yesterday we were going through that incident in the Ajmer railway station. Even when the police drove him from one place to another, there must be some purpose. There must be some purpose. God must have His own purpose. That space. Otherwise, our rights and wrongs or our likes and dislikes, our preferences and priorities will make us miserable. Neither are we in a position to convince the other party, nor our mind will keep quiet. Okay, you have done. But it will be burning, The other day we were remembering about that video we saw, that teacher how she managed with the rowdy class, what happened, when she put her methodology, and afterwards when the teachers, her colleagues, asked her, what did you do with these boys? They were incorrigible. She smiled and said, I gave them space. Tremendous transformation in them. If that concept has to come, and if it has to come out in the form of a video, it cannot be an imagination. And we have seen in our lives that when somebody gives us space for all our nonsense, we get transformed. Out of our, bad temper, or out of our, first we take a decision and then only we think about it, and we blurt it out, we don't bother whether, we don't bother whether it has made them happy or it has made me happy. Giving space. The moment we start feeling not comfortable with the behavior of others, we should try to remind ourselves that we have denied the views of others to them. They are also equally entitled to bring out their own views. So we hear what they say and modify our stand if necessary. Otherwise, we need not. But we duly recognize we agree on disagreement, that even then we don't have to lose our temper. I'm sorry, I cannot go along with this approach. Finished. But let us give a patient hearing. Whether it is possible in our daily life, each one has to try, that's all. It will be easy to say, because God puts us in different types of situations where we are almost sure about our rights and wrongs, not gathered from our own thoughts, but we have observed many things and we have learned so many things. Out of that we have formed. We would like to accommodate as much as possible. Still there may be some instance where we may not give. And one more thing. Suppose we are unable to give space to others at that particular time. After some time, we can call him and said, I did not mean to wound you, though I still feel that that is the right step. So if any of my expressions have wounded you, I am sorry. I didn't mean to wound you. I only wanted to stress or give importance for that particular one, so that it is washed out immediately. Otherwise, it will keep coming back again. For a spiritual aspirant, this will stop our progress. For others, we are not answering here. We are only talking about those who are trying to feel in some form, God in everybody. No? We are trying. Intellectually, we are convinced, we are now trying. So, to us, this is very important. Immediately, we need not compare with any other statement outside. This is purely for people like us. Can we say people like us who are committed to this spiritual? Each one has to verify. Puja Swamiji, in his last message to all of us, said one word he used. We should be beloved Papa's devotees. We should qualify ourselves to be Papa's devotees. No? These are all some words that keeps us on toes. Whether Papa will like this approach, whether Mamadaji will like this approach. This is a very important problem we are all facing in everyday life, giving space to others. Because one thing is sure, if we develop this, a stage will come when we will not assert at all. Throughout In Quest of God, we found there has never been an occasion when he was asserting, accepting certain places where he wants to go, somebody wants him not to go. Very rare occasions. But when somebody says something, which way to go, which way not to go, he submits. He doesn't argue with them. He doesn't argue with anybody. He doesn't plead. He doesn't appeal. Even when that portion called God is everywhere, when the ticket examiner started asking, so to him, he has given space to everybody. It may not be possible for us, but at least one or two or three. Our in-depth study of In Quest of God should make us know that in our daily practice, we have to somehow include and try. Straight away, we need not say it is impossible. That means we are not giving even space to that suggestion, We have come across with many persons who, when we suggest, when we propose something, they will give a patient hearing. And then afterwards they will say, it need not necessarily be like that. They teach us how to give space. Not that they are okaying whatever we say. But they give us a patient hearing. That itself soothes, the temper. Suddenly we also realize we have been talking, you are not talking anything. Giving space to others, non-judgmental approach. Nowadays, you know, all these IT companies, employees, for IT company employees, periodical, what they call as camps, you know, not camps, orientation courses. So in that there are certain do's and don'ts. That is also academic now. But we happen to go through one book, a big book, how to conduct such programs. There are so many clauses about our becoming punctual, and one thing is, when somebody gets up and raises some point, you would have lectured about it for 1 hour or half an hour, and in spite of that somebody stands up and asks the same question, then he said, be patient and hear what he says. You may think that you have presented it well, but there may be still some points which are not clear to others. And your body language should be such that you are not hearing for the hearing's sake. With all interest, with all sincerity, you hear. They don't say giving space to others, but we remember. During our last visit to Chennai, you know, we happened to go through this book, wonderful book. So many points are there. How to conduct a training program. With all good intentions, we may have our own agenda. But you should know the training program is there because of the participants. So participants are equally relevant, valid, and therefore their views. These are some of the things by which we learn how to give space to others. When we were showing a lot of PPTs during our research programs, there was one PPT, many of you, I don't know whether, an old man and a grandfather, and a grandson, sorry. Son or son? Son, correct.
Asking same question.
He was asking the same question. Outside is the bungalow. They were sitting. There was a bench. So his vision was not very, very clear to him, his father. So his son was reading, you know, youngster. So suddenly a sparrow came there, and it made some chirp noise. So he asked, what is that? So he said, sparrow. Again he, after some time, asked, the language started, his body language started changing. Sparrow. Again for the third time he said, I told you, sparrow, sparrow, sparrow. This old man immediately got up, went to his bedroom, took out a diary, came back, and took out that particular page. Read. So the boy started reading. He was not happy, he was not comfortable. Anyway, he started reading. So there it has been written, my 3-year-old or 4-year, something like that. Boy started asking this question 16 times or 18 times, something like that. And every time I answered patiently. I was enjoying how the boy is again and again asking. And that boy was he only. Suddenly the boy realized, and he hugged. In so many words he apologized, That simple video, it comes to our mind now, because giving space, That father gave space to his son in spite of repeatedly answering the same answer. It may not be possible for all of us. We will immediately say, I have already told you, bus. But wonderful lesson for us, Lesson for us to try. Why should we brush it out? Giving space to others. So many incidents that also happen, you can kindly go through your own life, and where it strikes, it stands out. Any person who comes up in your mind, who has contributed something on value dimension, you will find that it is because he gave a patient hearing. Tomorrow, if possible, we will try to share some thoughts which we have noted down from that book, because those are all very, very important ones. If we keep on reading it, probably slowly it will percolate, the essence of it will percolate. And when we deal with men and matters, even if we fail 50 times, probably the 51st time we may be able to give a patient hearing and honestly feel that, oh, he may have his own. He may have his own views. I would not have heard it properly. I would not have given him a chance to bring it out. So the moment we start feeling not comfortable with the behavior of others, we should try to remind ourselves that we have denied the views of others. Even in small matters, we can try this, because then the big matters also can be influenced. Because ultimately we know when we start giving space to others, it is reducing the dominance of me and mine. And accepting all situations as ordained by him. So many things, though outwardly we may say giving space to others, non-judgmental approach, ultimately either it is or it is leading us to something like surrender, something like reducing the dominance of me and mine, something like loving others, serving others rightly. We used to remember when we used to come here and sit in Puja Mataji's room, the door is always open. And people will come and sit. Either they may ask questions or they may sit still and do pranam. Mataji will ask, chai udjo, eppa vannu. All those things she will ask. Again she will come. We found, nobody is insignificant, nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant. That is giving space for others. The first and foremost thing is the door is always open. And we don't need an intermediary to fix up an appointment to see, As soon as we come from the station, we straight away keep the bag outside and go inside and do pranams. Then only we go to the room. Not only a room, we go for getting the room key. So now when we say space to others, it is open, open, open. That word comes, oh, it is so sweet, soothing, as if she is expecting us. Space to others, space to others, space to others. Giving space to others will come only when the me and mine is totally absent. But at least we will all try. In our case, it is not absent at all. It is more predominant now. But still, by making us now, Papa is making us to go through the in-depth study of In Quest of God, so that all these points well up in our mind and we are trying to refine our outer behavior so that the impurities are slowly erased and we become the fit ones to move towards Him. We can add now, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat your holy and all-powerful Ram Nam so that I will be able to give space to others who are also you in different forms. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat this holy and all-powerful Ram Nam for enabling me to give space to others who are also your own forms. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And then the next point is observe self-imposed discipline. In the life of an adult spiritual aspirant, the best discipline for his advancement and ultimate realization is the self-imposed discipline. Here, imitation and abject implicit obedience to the law set by anyone, however highly evolved he may be, will, instead of bringing into being an illumined individual, only produce a human robot without initiative, all its inner powers and beauty unexpressed, unrevealed. The first one was giving space. Here, observe self-imposed discipline. We are not affecting anybody. None of our we are not causing any disturbance to others. But as far as the disciplines are concerned, it should be self-imposed. Why? Not because of arrogance. Each one's body, mind, constitution is different from others. So it may not be possible for me to follow somebody's instruction, though it is nice to hear. It is convincing. It is rational. Everything is right. But it may not suit me. My taste, my temperament, my inclination, my habituation, my physical limitation, all these things will not enable me to go along with that. So in Papa's case, he never sought any such instruction from anybody else. anything that God gave him, he experimented upon himself. And because God was there throughout with him, or he was aware that God was there throughout with him, he had no problem. In our case, that is not the problem. We are not aware of his presence always. So ultimately, we have to now, he has given us a body, he has given us a mind, he has given us an intellect. So suiting to that, we must try to observe. This also makes us realize that we will not judge anybody based upon their outer behavior. We have shared here, many unlettered people with whom we had come in contact with in our early days. They may not talk a word about philosophy, spirituality, God, but they were living a spiritual life. Because what is suitable for them, they were adopting. They are not guided by what others do. And they don't have any disrespect for others. They don't belittle any of the things done by others. They don't comment anything about others. But they have their own. These are the things which we have to remember. Holding on to one. Why, not because of arrogance. Because it will not suit my equipment, BMI, body, mind, intellectual equipment. Because each one is unique. So in my day-to-day life, suppose spicy food irritates my stomach, I cannot take it. Highly literature having intellectual revealments, it may be difficult for an ordinary person. He may have simple devotion, that is enough. He is satisfied with that. Even in ashram provides many such people, innocent people. They may be coming from different places, high society people, educated people, but they are innocent in their approach. So this is something, so that means we are recognizing them. So these are all clues for our day-to-day life. Spirituality in day-to-day life. That is what is being covered under this daily practices. The fourth category. There were, previously we had dealt with three categories. First one was preparatory measures. Second one was pondering simultaneously on certain points. Third one was on sadhana. And fourth one is daily practices. So these daily practices, suppose we read it again and again and again, and this will be serialized in vision. Every month it will cover one. Last month we have covered the preparatory measures. So in August, it will, this is July, in August, July issue will come, July issue has already come. August issue, it will come the next one. September issue, the next one. And this one will come in the October issue, now September. So that we try to move, we try to absorb, assimilate as much as possible the preparatory measures and the points simultaneously we have to ponder. and we will add or modify our sadhana, and finally we will try. Because as we keep on nearing the end of this centenary year, we must have fairly a broad idea about the teachings that come out from. There may be still, because in-depth study is an ongoing program. It will never end on 27th December 2022. The centenary year comes to a close on 27th December. But our in-depth study, it's a continuous process. Until the seeker inner becomes one with the sought. Nothing more to seek. There is a great World Soul, who was also a poet in Malayalam. He had written in Nedendada Ihaparangalil Unnumilla. That stage we should reach. Then no problem. Here or hereafter, there is nothing to be attained. That fullness. So until such time, when we impose, so not only that we try to impose based upon our BMI, we will also not insist that somebody should do like this. We can suggest. If it is okay for them, they will take it. If they are not comfortable with that, they may not take it. And we don't get offended. So when we come to know that each and every person is unique, the uniqueness comes from what? We normally say unique, unique, unique. What is uniqueness? Each one's taste, temperament, aptitude, inclination, preferences, priorities differ. Each one's body constitution differs. So there cannot be a general prescription by which everybody should do this, everybody should do that. No. When Papa Mataji keep on insisting that nobody should be under the care of an institution, what they meant to us, we are plugging our own originality. In our anxiety to progress, we try to follow what somebody has said. But it will never become effective in me. That is why Mataji insists that those who are staying, they should stay for some time and then go and then probably again come back. Because in an organization, what is given is general. Only individual sadhana will give us the real progress, not this collective sadhana. Bluntly speaking, whatever is available as our sadhana, programs, that is meant for visiting devotees. Those who have not had any taste of any of these things. But for sadhakas who are staying here, they have to have individual sadhana. Because each one is unique. So self-imposed, observe self-imposed discipline. All these things are covered here. we are trying to connect ourselves with our original characteristics. If we don't give consideration for our individual characteristic, it will be at the superficial level, it will go. We all know from what we have been doing for the past so many decades. It will not go deeply. And we know Papa Mataji's life, they concentrated on individual sadhana first. Throughout his life, throughout his itinerant life, whether it is in inquest of God or at the feet of God or in the vision of God, we will find the concentration was purely on the individual sadhana. So we try to think about it and make use of our time for individual sadhana as much as possible. As an institution, we have to have a program, so we join it and we try to do as much as perfectly as possible, as much perfectly as possible. But at the same time, we should know that our spiritual progress purely depends upon our individual sadhana. So 2 points we try to cover today: giving space to others, observe self-imposed discipline. Salient aspects in our daily daily practices. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat your holy and all-powerful Ram Nam, to stick to what is suitable for my constitution. You are making me to think about it and then making me to adopt it. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. O Lord of the universe, you are making me to repeat the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam, so that I will give space to others who are also you in different forms. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Any suggestions you have? Any of you have?
A slave is a slave because he is free. Ramatirtha.
Ah. No, about
And
the.
Sudama was his feet. Papa was having that idea.
Anybody would like to share any thoughts on what we have been trying to actualize in our life?
Swamiji, I have a question.
Pardon?
question.
Yes.
Observing the self-imposed discipline, so that really means we just have to be listening to our heart, listening to the call within as far as what kind of practice we're supposed to be doing, and trusting then that that is the correct thing in that moment for us.
Self-discipline.
Self-imposed discipline means listening to the heart.
Eh?
Is it only listening to the heart?
Exactly. That is the true interpretation. A self-imposed discipline, true, we are listening to what is coming from our own heart.
And trusting that that is correct for us.
Eh?
And trusting that is correct for us.
But at the same time, the application should be such that it should not be a problem to anybody else. We have to ensure, suppose now we are chanting this Ramnam, okay? A neighbor, he is practicing something or learning, his children are ready. We should not be a problem to them. We have to ensure that while sticking to our own inner voice, we ensure that it does not create any problem for anybody. This aspect also we should know. That is why you will see Papa many a times, when he was doing it at home, it was creating a lot of problem for others. When he was chanting 22 hours out of 24 hours, everybody became panicky, na? His dress, his style of his food, everything started disturbing others. So then God wanted him to move out. And though in that letter also it was a loving letter, that what he wants to write, what he wanted to convey was that everything is actuated by him, actuated by God only, so he has no say, no? So they may be able to understand it later, though not now. So similarly, when we carry on with our self-imposed discipline, based upon the inner guidance we get from within, we should ensure that it does not cause any disturbance to others.
And how to know that it is the heart speaking and not the ego?
How
How
to
to know it
We
is
know
the
whether it is speaking by heart, not the ego.
not the ego. That you will know. Trial and error. Trial and error method will definitely know. First of all, the sense of asserting will not be there. Though we stick to it, it spontaneously comes and we act. And if our ego says, no, I will do this, I will do that, it will meet with failure. So by trial and error, if we are not progressing with the so-called self-imposed discipline, we should know that we are guided by the ego. We will know it, definitely we will know it, and then we are doing it, and we will correct ourselves.
So, Vijay,
Yeah.
the tests are the compassionate nature of Papa to show us our real strength.
Tester to show us to real
It is there. Now, on this point, this is a very important point, that how do we know whether our ego gives us this suggestion, or it is coming from the core of our being. Ego, when it gives, when it places, it will have some vested interest. It may not be in a tangible form. I have to do it. I am doing it. I will do it. No. When this comes, probably we will go wrong. But if we say that he is making me to think, he is making me to do, he is making me to do that, him from inside, then the whole thing gets changed. It is good that this point has been raised. Unless and until we make everything in a passive voice, there is every likelihood, as you have pointed out, that the ego may bring out its own views. And it may arrogate also, though we may not say in so many words. When somebody does not do what we are doing, we may feel, no, he is not doing like what I am doing. No. So the self-imposed discipline, we have to get guidance from within. At the same time, we should know that it is not an ego-prompted self-discipline. So every time we consult with him, is this all right? Is this all right? Because he who is seated within knows our constitution, knows our limitation, and he will prescribe us only that which is suitable for, comfortable for us. So this itself, this is a very important point. Good that it has been raised. That we have not applied our mind so far on this aspect. Because you are right, every time under the banner of the self-imposed discipline, our ego may have its play. But we should be very careful. As a spiritual aspirant, we should try to we should consult, not from any outer, but from him. We devise some method, and we are open for, say, for example, up to one level we may practice this, and later on we may change that practice. So it is not because the practice was bad. That practice was necessary to take us to that stage. So similarly, if we arrogate ourselves, problem for us, and that will be expressed in so many ways to others also. We may belittle others, we may condemn others' approach. So the Papa did not say you should do this, you should do that. No, he is placing before us. In many articles we have said that Ramdas places before you. No, that's what. Some food for thought, you apply it. If you find it is okay, carry on with it. We need some outer guidance initially, but ultimately we have to get it from inward. Is that clear?
Yes, very clear. Thank you, Swami.
Okay. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Swamiji,
Swamiji, Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Today we
Yes, Bimbaji.
hospital. Today we have to go to hospital for my husband's general checkup. Then I find it very difficult to even go out because of my sciatica and all these things. So even then I went out just to accompany him. Then while coming back, I was finding very difficult to take my feet from auto rickshaw, and keep my legs out. To collect the papers, medical papers, files, everything, we were taking little longer than the normal thing. But the auto rickshaw driver was so calm, and he was not at all irritated. He was absolutely like okay, take your time. Anybody in his place would have felt irritated. But he was taking very calm face. But still we felt that, okay, we are taking his time, so we were in a hurry. But the papers fell down, we had to collect the papers again from the rickshaw. He said, आराम से करो, कुछ भी जल्दी नहीं है. So this is, I felt this is the example of giving space to others, like all in a different and problems for us.
Wonderful.
He knew that we were coming from hospital because we got the auto rickshaw at the gate of the hospital. So he obviously knew we were coming from the hospital. But so he knew all these files and the papers, everything was medical thing. So he was telling us, "Aram se karo, kuch bhi jaldi nahi." We took a long time. Anybody in his place would have felt irritated. Even I. But then we were so, we thought that God, we see God in everything, like how he had the patience and tolerance for us.
Patience and
Anybody
endurance.
would, yes.
Absolutely right.
Yes.
Absolutely right. Glory to him.
Yes.
Hari Om. Yeah. We would like to hear such a personal experience as always. It will be inspiring to us, inspiring to everybody. Very good. Hari Om.